Good evening and welcome to Up South for all the top news stories of the day from the south of the Vindhyas. I am T.S. Sudhir. Now, last week the Madras High Court had granted bail to a person accused of rape and even allowed him to mediate with the victim. And that had caused a lot of outrage and uproar in parts of Tamil Nadu and elsewhere in the country. Today, the Supreme Court in another case from Madhya Pradesh said any approach of compromise or settlement is against the dignity of women and displays lack of sensibility.
Taking a tough stand over the recent reports of mediation between a rape accused and the rape survivor, the Supreme Court terms such decisions as a compromise on the dignity of a woman. Hearing an appeal filed by the Madhya Pradesh government in a rape case, the Supreme Court said any attempt of mediation between a rape survivor and the perpetrator is thoroughly illegal. Courts cannot take a soft approach over such issues, and it's also a spectacular error on the part of the court to promote any such mediation.
In a crucial judgment today which involves an attempt to rape case of a 7-year-old girl in Guna, Madhya Pradesh, the Supreme Court made some very important points in a judgment. The court said that there cannot be any facilitation of any mediation which leads to a wedlock between the victim and the perpetrator of a crime against women. The court also said that it is not only a spectacular error on the part of the court and bad in law, but is also against the dignity of a woman.
The Supreme Court's decision comes just days after the Madras High Court gave bail to a man convicted of raping a minor to settle the case through mediation. However, the rape survivor refused for a settlement.
அந்த அளவுக்கு சான்ஸே கிடையாதுங்க சார். அவங்க வந்து வெளியில் வரணுங்கிற ஒரே காரணத்துக்காக கல்யாணங்கிற ட்ராமா பண்ணிட்டு இருக்காங்க. அவங்க மேரேஜ் பண்ணணும்னு நினச்சா 7 வருஷத்துக்கு முன்னாடியே கல்யாணம் பண்ணியிருக்கலாம். இந்த செகண்ட் வரையும் அது என்னோட குழந்தை இல்லைன்னு தான் சொல்கிறாங்க. அப்படி இருக்கும்போது அவங்க எப்படி சார் என்ன நல்லபடியாக கல்யாணம் பண்ணி எப்படி கூட்டு போய்ட்டு என்ன வச்சுருப்பாங்க?
But the Tamil State Women's Commission has called reconciliation as a good move.
The convict should not be let away on bail if he agrees to marry, because there won't be any guarantee that he will live along with her for lifetime. Another thing, it all depends on the state of mind of the girl.
Well, Tamil Nadu Women's Commission welcomed the mediation. The Madras High Court order evoked sharp criticism from the lawyers and activists, saying it's a completely wrong approach and rape is a sexual and non-negotiable offence and one cannot arrive at any mediation. And today the Supreme Court reiterated, terming it against the dignity of a woman. With Anusha Soni in New Delhi, Srisha Reddy in Chennai for India Today.
Former Sri Lankan President Mahinda Rajapaksa has decided to contest the August 17 parliamentary elections in the island nation. He made the announcement in his hometown of Madamulana, saying that he is not in a position to reject the requests which have been made by his supporters to contest the election. Rajapaksa, however, did not say under which political party he will contest the election and if he is indeed seeking the post of the Prime Minister. Significantly, only recently, Rajapaksa's statement comes after President Maithripala Sirisena, who is the chairman of the Sri Lanka Freedom Party, said that Rajapaksa will not be made the Prime Ministerial candidate of the SLFP. Rajapaksa said that he will look to rectify any mistakes made in the past when looking to form the next government. Joining me now from Chennai is R.K. Radhakrishnan, senior journalist and a long-time Sri Lanka watcher. Mr. Radhakrishnan, it's pretty clear that Mahinda Rajapaksa is not willing to give up, even though he couches it by saying on the request of the supporters and the people. What does his decision to contest the election mean, and how will it alter the Sri Lankan politics?
I think it's as significant for Mahinda Rajapaksa as it is for the state of Sri Lanka. I think it is Rajapaksa's future in the line, and that is why he has to make this choice. There has been a lot of inquiries by the CID on his so-called ill-gotten wealth. I mean, these inquiries have got nowhere in the 6 months' time that we have seen. But the fact is that there has been this pinpricks on the Rajapaksa family. His wife has been summoned. His secretary Lalit Veeratunga has been summoned. Gotabaya Rajapaksa's brother has been summoned by the CID in investigations. So it's very clear that it's not possible for him to lead a peaceful life in Sri Lanka. And the second thing is that it actually really kind of murks work is the field, and it is completely impossible to tell how this will play out, because he is in the SLFP, the president is in the SLFP, and also Chandrika Kumartunga also is in the SLFP.
Absolutely. We'll come to that in a bit, Mr. Radhakrishnan. Now, President Sirisena has said that Mahinda Rajapaksa will not be made the prime ministerial candidate. There are ministers like Arjuna Ranatunga who have also made anti-Rajapaksa noises. Now, do you see Rajapaksa and Sirisena kind of slugging it out in the next 1 month in the run-up to the parliamentary elections? Because obviously Rajapaksa is looking at the prime minister's chair, isn't he?
Absolutely. I think it is a question of Mahinda Rajapaksa's future, and I think he's trying to make one last bid to come back, because the next elections are going to be 5 years away. The presidential polls are just over. That was January 8th. Again, Mahinda's lucky number, and now again it's August 17. Again, Mahinda's lucky number, 1 plus 7 is 8. So I think he has the astrology part on his side. He just needs to somehow get Sirisena out of the way. So we will see a full-fledged fight between Sirisena on one side and Sirisena and Chandrika, of course. They'll close ranks. And you'll have Mahinda on the other side. Now the point is where Ranil stands in all this. I think he's a very insignificant player. It is absolutely impossible at this moment to say if he'll again become prime minister. But I think there will be a dark horse somewhere on the way who will get to be prime minister. It cannot be Mahinda, it cannot be Ranil, it should be somebody else.
Right. Mr. Radhakrishnan, it's interesting how you point out the significance of numbers and probably how they're weighing in Mahinda Rajapaksa's favor. But do you see Sirisena perhaps backing even Chandrika Kumartunga for the top job of Prime Minister, if not Ranil Wickremesinghe?
Yeah, most certainly. Yeah, this guy has been elected president. He's going to be there for the next 5 years. Nothing in the world is going to change that. The constitution does not provide for a replacement unless he dies in office. Now, given that being the circumstance, he would have somebody who does not come with the name Ranil Wickremesinghe and also with the name Mahinda Rajapaksa in the seat of the Prime Minister. It cannot be Chandrika, because Chandrika Kumartunga has always made it very clear that she has no intentions of contesting office. She would have been, she could have easily pushed and fought for presidency. Another question whether she would have won it or not, but the point happens to be that it has to be a third person. I don't see Mahinda, I don't see Sirisena and Ranil seeing eye to eye. There are already differences, there are already problems between both of them, and I'm very certain that it's going to be a third person.
Right. Mr. Radhakrishnan, definitely Sri Lankan politics is in for some very interesting times. We'll continue to track that very closely here on Up South on India Today. Mr. Radhakrishnan, thanks a lot for joining us there from Chennai. Now, trouble continues at the office of the Lokayukta in Karnataka. We have been following allegations of corruption which have been leveled against the top persons in the office of the Lokayukta in Karnataka. The government of Siddaramaiah has ordered a special investigation team probe headed by a senior IPS officer, but many activists are demanding a CBI investigation. Meanwhile, one of the prime accused in the case has sought a stay from the High Court on the internal investigation that has been carried out by the Lokayukta SP.
No, legal because legal opinion ತಗೊಂಡು ಮಾತಾಡ್ತೀನಿ.
Right. My colleague Pratibha Raban has been tracking all the developments in this story from Bengaluru and sent us this report.
We have with us at least about 150 members of the Advocates Association who have assembled here right in front of the Lokayukta office, all of them demanding that the truth must be out very soon with regards to the Lokayukta scam, all of them demanding that Justice Bhaskar Rao must immediately step down. I have with me Mr. Subba Reddy, who is a member of the Advocates Association, sir.
Yes.
What has been your demand?
See, our demand is FIR has to be registered first. Then his property has to be confiscated. He should resign. These are the three demands, important demands. And his son must be brought back to here, because he should also be arrested and brought here. And whatever amount he has collected, we have got evidence.
So do you think that Mr. Bhaskar Rao is going soft on this?
Yes, he should. See, we have met him and we have requested him that he should resign. He said that no, I will wait for a report. Whether in positive or negative, I will resign.
So are you happy with this special investigation team that the government is setting up?
We are not happy. We want only CBI to inquiry about it.
What are your fears with this SIT, sir?
No, what is required? What do you say?
What are your fears with this special investigation team?
No, inquiry, see, now they are collecting all the information, they will give it to them and all that. But the CBI is effort, if it is announced by the government, then all these papers will be transmitted to,
So you feel that more than the SIT, the CBI inquiry will be more fair?
Definitely. It will be fair and all that. They will go into the detail. And even in Hyderabad, whatever property they have made, and his son is in abroad, he should also be brought. All these is required very
So they only tend to feel that a CBI inquiry will do a fair job of the investigation, and that an SIT that has been set up by the government is just not enough. With camera person Madhu, Pratibha Raman, Bangalore, India Today.
Right, the Lokayukta allegations of corruption have also generated a lot of heat in the assembly session which is taking place in Belagavi. Deputy Editor Rohini Swamy joining me live from Belagavi. Rohini, the Janata Dal Secular has also got into the act, levelling serious allegations against several officers who are part of the Lokayukta. What are the details that you have?
Well, it was definitely a stormy session that we saw in terms of discussion that took place within the assembly here, with the opposition demanding that it be handed over to the CBI. The opposition also pressing upon the fact they do not trust the special investigative team that is being headed by an ADGP level, Mr. Kamal Pant. Now, we also spoke to Mr. H.D. Kumaraswamy. He is clearly saying, and on the floor of the House also he said, he has names of around 50 top IAS officers who are hand in glove with officials who could be involved in corruption in the office of the Lokayukta. Now, he has gone ahead and make this claim, a very damning claim that this is, and especially with the ruling party saying reveal those names, he did not do so because the Speaker made it very clear those names could be handed over to the Chief Minister or to the Speaker, which he's going to do. But when he spoke to me also, he's very clearly saying that he does not trust the special investigative team or the investigation that take place, and saying that already the government is looking at hushing up the case because they do not want the names to be revealed, because a lot of names could also lead up to people who could be attached to people who are maybe in the ruling government.
Right. Rohini Swamy, thanks a lot for joining us there from Belagavi. It's important to note that H.D. Kumaraswamy, former Chief Minister of Karnataka, himself has been at the receiving end of many of the investigations which have been taken out there by the Lokayukta.